for Nebraska. After dropping 2 of their first 3 dual meets, they've been wrestling well. And we always know, Jim, with Nebraska and Minnesota as well, the consistency year in and year out, you know what to expect from both these programs.
You really know what to expect when it comes to like building, developing athletes and all that. So you know they're going to be competitive. But sometimes this, the Vandy Center environment has not been kind to the Huskers in some of these big duels, particularly on our network. So I know they know that coming into this, and this is a big matchup to get it started.
Patrick McKee, undefeated 7-0, ranked 4th in the nation for the Gophers. 3-time national qualifier, 2-time All-American. And Liam Cronin ranked 10th. Cronin this season 11-2. These two met a couple years ago when it was Cronin beating McKee 8-1. Cronin coming off some injuries, but they are excited to have him back in the lineup.
Yeah, they are. And, Cronin is one of those guys that loves to have that left-handed underhook. And when McKee is giving it to him here, he's really found some success. And there he's jumping right into a underhook, and he traps that leg. And referee Kurt Frost stopped it right there. See, here we go. Nebraska coaching staff having a difficult time with that stoppage. But this is a battle here that McKee has not, or a puzzle that McKee hasn't been able to solve, because he hasn't. There he gets right through the underhook. Now a roll through attempt there by Liam.
Good scramble there on the edge, 40 seconds in.
Now it's kind of in a Granby tie-up situation there for Cronin. Good opportunity probably to call a stalemate. So good roll through there, good counter. Good work by McKee. See how he got through that underhook position right there, ducked right underneath it, got to the legs.
How do you finish that, Jim?
Well, you got to anticipate the roll through, and you almost got to treat it like you got to let go of the leg and sprawl and get your feet back and get into a go behind situation. We'll see a lot of that here today. A lot of guys are starting to hit that off their single leg finish. We'll come back to that.
McKee 7-0, 4 bonus point victories. Also had a win at the NWCA All-Star Classic.
Wow.
Pinned Kyson Tarakini. Good counterattack there from the Gopher, shelving a single leg.
Shane, what I see are great adjustments here by Pat McKee, right? Knowing that Cronin was going to come to that underhook, there was a lot of anticipation there. It did that little whip move that you see a lot with guys who come with that underhook. Great technique.
McKee very good in the top position. See how committed he is to a tough ride on top midway through this first period. 2-0 McKee. The 2-time All-American from St. Michael, Minnesota, was a 3-time state champion at St. Michael, Albertville. Quickly to his feet, Cronin, looking for something big. Nice mat return and roll from Cronin. And he gets the escape.
That's a good situation for McKee right there.
You want injury? You want injury?
And I think McKee may be a little bit damaged on that roll-through situation, but he just popped right back up.
Well, they were just asking, do you want injury? Because if he takes injury time, it'll be Cronin's choice. So McKee to his feet.
Just wait. Just wait.
Back on. And will jog onto the Resolites. And because it's concussion protocol, there is no choice. If it was injury time, it would have been choice to Cronin. That's not the case here. We're back at it. 2-1 with 1:10 here in this first period. Glad to see McKee back on the mat.
Yeah, take a look at the adjustments that McKee has made. Again, he doesn't like staying in that underhook position because Cronin just lives in that position, loves it. Likes to jack up that underhook and get into that lead leg shot right there. He likes to attack the lead leg of McKee. So there's a lot of familiarity between these two guys. Now a cross ankle pick. Look at that, elevating through. We've seen both athletes with great defense from the feet.
That was good work there from Cronin, working off an underhook as he picked an ankle, but McKee was ready for it.
Yeah, it's just stayed a little bit high. A lot of times you want to slide down, but those are just such great reactions there by McKee. Both men really into this match.
Now McKee with the single leg, looking for a second takedown of the period. He's got a half minute to work with.
Yeah, and notice that he's now on the inside part of the leg here. That's a little bit more difficult for Cronin to roll through. To try to position at the edge of the mat.
And this is a comment, Jim, that you always reference is wrestle here like you are center of the mat.
Yeah, and that's what's happening right here with that shin wizard. But for Cronin, you can't try to pull away too far because you're going to make it easier for McKee to score from Minnesota.
Final seconds here in this first period. Single leg for McKee. And the good defense continues.
Yeah, well played by Cronin. Here's the whip through right there, the attempt. Again, I know that the Minnesota coaching staff is well versed on what Cronin does. They like that underhook. They've worked hard on the techniques that will work well for him. A lot of anticipation. Good job of scouting here by McKee.
So Cronin will go on bottom here in the second period.
And what's been impressive about Cronin was that first escape. Now he gets to his feet. Remember last match, Shane, here with Patrick McKee. He did not make weight. So big 125-pounder. Now as the longer this match goes.
Here's Cronin with a single leg. Back trip, and he's got his first lead.
So you got a combination of things in play here. You got a guy who hasn't made weight in a while. You got the concussion protocol they just went through. And now the takedown here. Grab the lead.
But to get to that point, Jim, again, it's broken record, but it is so true. Those quick escapes, 2 quick escapes, keeps him in good position.
No doubt about it. No doubt. Good call.
So Cronin doubling up McKee 4-2. Of course, McKee does so much damage on that backside of the NCAA tournaments. 2021, he finished 3rd as a 15 seed, lost in the second round, won 6 straight. And then last year was an 8 seed, lost in the first round, and then won 5 before falling to Vito Arujau of Cornell, and then beat Brayton Courtney of Arizona State to take 5th. And with those performances at the NCAA championships, Patrick McKee is our State Farm State of Success as the Gopher escapes.
Yeah, one thing about Patrick McKee is that we've learned over the years with him is he gives up this takedown. Nothing that happens in the regular season seems to faze him. He's always been ready at tournament time, but he finds himself down pretty big now in this situation here. 6-3 with 22 seconds left in the first period.
And this is big, final 20 seconds. Can Cronin finish the period on top as he takes riding time near a minute? The always intense Mark Manning. And does he have that sweater vest on, Jim?
Yes, he does.
Believe he does, as promised. Thank you, Coach Manning. He's the OG of the sweater vest. Him and John Smith, of course.
We got on him a little bit about breaking his consecutive sweater vest streak, and he brought it back, trying to start a new streak.
This is huge for Cronin. Can he finish the period on top? There's a good mat return. Attempted roll from McKee.
Got to try to get your head up here. The guy that keeps his elevation is going to win the scramble. And that was Cronin. Let's take a look at this beautiful job of this takedown here by Cronin, just off that underhook. Now he's on the inside part of the leg. The one thing about being on the inside part of the leg, you kind of eliminate a lot of roll-throughs on guys. You don't see as much scrambling done. You see him come to the head with a nice trip there. 2-point takedown.
So Cronin takes riding time over a minute. McKee got the first takedown. And since then, Cronin, couple escapes, pair of takedowns. He's leading it 6-3. Doing a nice job in this top position. Here's a whizzer from McKee.
And he's shelving the leg and coming up. Again, you're back into that strong position for Cronin. He likes to be in that underhook. Comes right back into the double underhook. We'll see if he comes up with his offense, but 6-4 score. Comes to a double leg and drives through. This time McKee gets caught on the counter.
No near fall, but another takedown for Liam Cronin. And Jim, those shots just have great conviction and purpose.
Again, when he gets his pacifier, which is that left-handed underhook, all of his offense works off of that, and you saw that happen from the intentional release. He was purposely letting him go, got into the underhook that he wanted, gave up the escape, followed up with a takedown.
Head lever position there on the edge. Riding time over 2 minutes for Liam Cronin, the 10th ranked 125-pounder in the country.
Center. Down green.
Good match here.
Cronin looking to hand McKee his first defeat of the season.
Hold on. Get that. Okay.
And right now, if you're McKee, you've got to maybe think big move, but now you're giving up an escape. 8-5 score, you've got to be thinking about something big.
Goes back to that underhook, another good clean shot.
He's
rolled through.
All right, and McKee gets the points right there. Should get him anyway. As he comes back, you're going to call stalling there.
Go neutral.
And I almost think it was pretty close to getting points, but the referee didn't give it. And as you see, they went off the mat without control.
Here we go.
And that's big, if nothing else, going to take some time off the clock.
Yeah, more than like, yeah, they gave the fleeing the mat call to tie this thing up here, but riding time has been secured for Cronin.
So he's up by 3, going to hang on to that right leg, now going to elevate. But time is going to run out, and Liam Cronin is going to hand McKee his first loss of the season, tack on 2 more for good measure, and with the riding time, 11-6.
I really like the aggressiveness of Cronin in that third period. Got himself into a couple of leg shots at the end to close the deal. Great scramble. That's a quality win. He'll move up in the rankings.
And across the line is All-American Jake Bergland, 9-4 for the Gophers. And Jim, those first 2 matches, teams splitting. Here's another toss-up match at 141.
Right, this is totally a toss-up here. One ranked higher, but the other one's been an All-American, so you know he's got the skills to be able to go ahead and do well in big situations, and this is exactly it. Boy, 2 fun matches to get this meet started. 125 was a barn burner, and of course that little different style, of course, but the punitive punishment that we saw with Nagao in the top position really put him back into that match.
You break guys on top.
Yeah, that's so evidence. The running game in football, same thing, being tough in the top position, and not just a double boot ride that just, you know, but he was actually
looking to turn
all the way, and that's why the referee, Kurt Frost, gave him a lot of time to do it.
Hardy this season, a champion at the Navy Classic. He was first in Vegas. Nebraska winning it for the 3rd straight year as a team.
Yeah, that situation we just got done talking about there. So now they went off the mat. Again, good job by Hardy, not trying to get off the mat, but just go ahead and counter it like you're in the middle. Good work of Bergland working off that underhook.
Hardy has won 16 straight. Began the season 1-2, but he's been fantastic. Out of Brigham City, Utah. Box Elder High School. He's been around a while.
Good shot.
One thing that Hardy does pretty well here, cut the corner on the defense. There's a decent shot here by Bergland. I don't see him trying to finish it, but Hardy's really forcing the action here, jumping across. Continue to work. He's going to use that right foot to kind of free the left ankle out. See that right foot pushing into the armpit right there. Now he's looking neutral danger call. That's get past 90 degrees.
And that is on Bergland, the Gopher.
A little closer right now. Again, all the while trying to free that right foot. Gets the points.
And the way that is called is danger in the color. You heard him say danger green. That is Bergland. He's got the green ankle band. And then when it gets to 3, it's 2 takedown.
Really good job of Hardy, but just, keep him in that position, but also trying to work his ankle out at the same time.
Hardy with the takedown, leading it 2-0. 40 seconds here in this first period.
Good solid ride there by Hardy. He's got Bergland flattened out.
Can he finish the period on top?
Can he reach underneath and grab that wrist and possibly get a tilt off of it? Bergland trying to keep his wrist away from his navel right there, because you know that Hardy's going to probably come back into it there. See how that action right there underneath where Hardy's trying to collect his wrist?
Final 10 seconds, another breakdown there from Hardy. So big when you get that takedown and then finish that period on top, keep it a 2-0 score to the second period. So Brock Hardy, coming out of Utah, went on his Mormon mission, returned during the COVID-19 season, redshirted last season. So this is the first of 4 years of eligibility for Brock Hardy. Get used to hearing this name, and I can tell you this, Jim, they love this guy in Nebraska. He's going to win a lot of matches for the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, he is, but isn't it kind of funny that the first 3 weight classes here, we've got guys that have been traveled, could write an essay about all the places these guys have been in the last 7 years.
A lot of maturity on this Nebraska team. There's a reversal early. Hardy 4-0. He'll go back to work on top. Riding time nearing a minute. I believe Coach Manning said 3 guys on this team are married.
I think it's 4.
Tricep, right leg. Get your tricep off the. Get his tricep off the mat. Good. He's got to wrestle.
Good job by Hardy. Basically, now he's putting the leg in, and you see the motion there by Bergland. He's going to sit back into it, but he's in a bad situation here with those knees flared out like that. It makes it easy for those legs to come in. See what Hardy's going to try to do. Is he going to try to work the tilt? Ball and chain. Doesn't seem as confident up there as he does with his wrist ride, so he's going to go back to the mat return and find a wrist.
Good job there by Brock Hardy. This is what Bergland normally does to guys. He's very good in the top position, getting a taste of his own medicine with 50 seconds left in the second period. Looking for a tilt. He's going to get near fall.
3. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
See that sequence there, Shane? He didn't have it all the way before. Bergland made the adjustment on it, and he came right back to it, and Bergland couldn't get off his back.
A takedown, a reversal, a turn for 4 on the edge. Ton of riding time, slides that right leg back in, and just a dominating performance up to this point by the 5th-ranked 141-pounder in the country, Brock Hardy. At the weight class Big Ten with 3 of the top 10 in the rankings.
What's he doing? Left knee.
Crossbody ride right there in that situation, burning a little bit of clock at the edge of the mat.
What a big period.
Yeah, let's take a look at this reversal and go into the back points there. Nice job of shrugging off to the side right there, then coming and driving through, and then gets the tilt he wants right now. He's got that wrist trapped underneath, comes to his right, shelves the hips there, basically on his hips, gets the shoulders turned. You turn the hips, the shoulders will follow.
Talk about a complete matchup to this point. Neutral, from on bottom, from on top, with a turn. Love those turns. Big fan of riding time, but you get on top, turn guys, put points on the board. We know that 4-point near fall has changed the game. So riding time already locked up. 25 seconds into this 3rd period, and Brock Hardy sniffing bonus points, Jim. I don't think we saw that coming.
Yeah, we did. It's just, we saw a good meet coming, and I tell you what, it was interesting to listen to both coaches talk about how much they worked in the top position. We see it now here from Hardy. We saw it last match here with Nagao. These last 2 matches have been a clinic in the top position of how to put pressure on guys.
Dare I say it, Jim, but I think you'd agree. We have seen some tough wrestling in these first 3 matches.
No doubt.
Tough wrestling. 60 seconds to go in this 3rd period.
Crossface into the far cradle right there. Didn't quite have it locked up, but plenty of space to put that leg back in. after the effort.
Bergland's had no answer on bottom.
No, he really hasn't. He's had one kind of a switch maneuver, but you see how he's flared out like this with his legs? You do that, you got to really kind of keep those pockets closed, maybe the knees together, a little bit more back pressure. It's just been too easy for Hardy just to extend the legs of the table out and put weight on the chest, and he just collapses.
I have not seen Brock Hardy in a couple of years, but I will tell you this, based on his performance tonight, at least for me, Jim, when I think about the 141-pound national champion, this guy's going to be in the mix if he wrestles like this.
Yes, particularly in the top position. He can make guys really suffer down there.
He led it wire to wire.
Yeah, these Huskers have come out shot out of a cannon in these first 3 weight classes. Even in the match they lost, they came out hard. Good to see.
Brock Hardy with the running time, a 9-0 major decision. His teammates are excited.
2 All-Americans have gone down in this bout.
So 4 points for the Cornhuskers here at 141. Cornhuskers off to a great start. And a featured match at 157 pounds with the top-ranked 157-pounder in the country, Peyton Robb, and Brayton Lee ranked 12th. Of course, coming off that injury from a year ago. Lee 3-3. These 2 Mets a year ago tomorrow in Minneapolis. It was a 4-0 win for Brayton Lee, shutting out Peyton Robb. Jim, Robb is a new man.
He really is. I mean, he's got himself in great shape. He actually got himself in great shape after this match. And, you know, of course, Brayton Lee was probably the favorite going into that match. But Robb now is the #1 ranked guy in the country, and he's deserved that ranking. And he's deserved it because he wrestles a fast pace. He gets after it. Brayton's been had a little bit of a struggle coming back from the injury, but he's got confidence in this matchup. But it's a great time for him to get back on the winning ways.
Lee, last season, ended on February 11th against Ohio State with a season-ending injury. But Peyton Robb this season, a perfect 15-0. He's won at the Navy Classic, Cliff Keen champion.
So far, you've been pretty much been able to throw out the rankings from what we've seen here in the first 4 bouts.
Watch your hands.
Start of the show, we talked about the 3 All-Americans for Minnesota. Down went McKee, down went Bergland, and here's that 3rd one that we featured, Brayton Lee, and he's the underdog.
Yeah.
Nice. Follow it up.
Center. Center.
And, you know,
In here, guys.
what we know about Peyton Robb, we know he likes to, you know, he can wrestle a really high pace. But the thing about wrestling Lee, he's just a very difficult guy to go ahead and just, you know, go to hard pace with, because he can react really well. He has good balance. He keeps he doesn't ever lean into you really hard at any point in time. So really tough to take down, and pretty good in the top position himself.
There's a shot here from Peyton Robb.
Body lock.
Body lock.
So he's circling back in. That's the way to go here. He feels that. Just notice how that Lee is pushing it on that left hip. So he can't get it in. So he doesn't want his hips anything to do with it. But he doesn't want to just push off the mat.
You heard the official instructing center.
In here.
Reset with 124. Remember, with Peyton Robb in 2020, was at 157. He was 3rd at the Big Tens. NWCA honorable mention All-American. Then in 2021, he was up to 165. 2-2s at the NCAAs. And then last year, Jim, back down to 157. And what a tournament at the NCAAs. He was 4th as a 10 seed, 6-2. Talked about Mitch McKee and the work he does on the backside. Robb won 5 matches on the backside. Ultimately fell in that 3rd place match to David Carr of Iowa State, 7-2.
Out of the face.
But he likes to scrap.
He does. Again, I think that's, you probably go back to last year at this time, and I think he's, you know, after losing to Lee 4-0, and he really wasn't in that match at all. He just turned his whole season around. Huge match for Lee, I think. You know, I think he's a guy that the coaching staff has a lot of confidence in. You know, they like what they see. They see a lot in the wrestling room. It's just a matter of just putting it all out there after being basically out for a good part of the year. There's a slide by there by Robb.
Out of bounds, good action.
In here.
Short time here in this first, 15 ticks. Brayton Lee from Brownsburg, Indiana. Three-time state champion for Derek Snyder at Brownsburg High School before coming to Minneapolis. Scoreless first period.
Green, you first.
Lee with the choice. Looks at his corner, he'll defer. And Robb will go on bottom. This is where Lee was really good in that match last January. Believe he had riding time, but tough in the top position, very stingy. Shut him out 4-0 as we saw.
Yeah, and this is where Robb, you know, sometimes get caught looking for big moves, and when just basically the escape is there.
You hear that drop down counts. Good adjustment there from Lee. Well done.
Yeah, he followed that up here, and right when, you know, Robb was basically setting him up for the stalling call right there. Keep moving forward, moving in a circle, and he was able to go ahead and come right back in, brought his hips to the party, nice lift, control at the edge of the mat. But again, not much time went by here for a good chance for Robb to get out quick. He's going with this quad pod stand up, and he's going to fight hand control, covers the fingers, and gets his feet moving.
Gets the escape. Lone tally on the scoreboard, 1-0. Underhook here from Lee on the left side.
That's a good position for Lee. You can see where Robb doesn't really like that, want to try to get his right elbow back down low.
Center.
That overhook whip is not really in a position to do it. Got to clear out of that underhook.
Collar tie right side. There's a shot.
Center, guys.
Halfway through this second period, 1-0 match. Another attack there from Lee.
Yeah, good commitment for Lee on both those shots. Well timed.
Fingers.
Lee, a two-time All-American, 2020. Fourth at the Big Tens. He was 25-6 of first team.
Robb has given up that underhook one more time. Now he's into a underhook and whizzer position.
You good?
Probably going to get a stalemate.
Yeah.
And then Lee, third at the Big Tens in 2021. He was sixth. Good tournament in St. Louis.
Looks like a blood time out, both guys. Head back to the center.
Didn't take long as both guys toe the Resolite center of the mat. Half a minute in the second period. See how they play it.
All right, here we go. Stop.
Lee's shown a little bit more offense than Robb has. Robb has had a difficult time getting through the head hands. A lot of finger clasping going on here. A little down blocking by Robb, but no follow-up shot. There's a committed shot there by Robb.
Keep taking ground right into him.
After deferring at the end of the first period, Lee will have the choice. In the third period, I'm sure he'll go bottom. 10-3 Nebraska. Cornhuskers have won 3 of the first 4 matches in this duel. There's Brandon Eggum. See Zach Sanders in the background.
Let's see how committed Robb is to the ride.
That's you, Green. A little early. Cut. First one.
I like that. Caution on Brayton Lee a little bit early. Why not? You got 2 cautions. Use them. Try to get that edge.
Now
I'm
caution.
going to go you that time.
Yep.
Here we go.
I think that was a good call.
Hit his elbow wet. Here we go. Set. Slow, guys. Cover.
You know, I see that smile on Peyton Robb's face. I don't think there's any way you can get him tired in 10 minutes, right, of wrestling. You might be able to beat him, but you're not be able to ever get him tired.
Looking for a mat return and a trip as they roll out of bounds.
For him to hustle back, both guys.
Hey, we're going slow, okay? Going slow. Set. Go, Red.
Be aggressive. Take it out. Take it out.
Robb pitching that right side.
Yeah. Has the grip he wants to get right now. He's going to try to collapse, move his feet a little bit. Nice block right there to get him back down. But problem with that is you got to split the grip when you do it. So you got to split your grip right now. Find your wrist. Find something down here at the bottom of the mat return that will help you out. He's coming with that claw ride with that right arm underneath the by the neck, left side of the neck.
Slow, guys.
I mean, Mark Manning just never stops.
Yeah, he wrestles all
every
10.
single second of intensity. He does, Jim. You're right. He doesn't just wrestle all 10. It's every second of all 10. I mean, he just lives and dies with every second when his guys are out on the mats.
Well, I think every coach does that, but I think he more so more physically that he brings that and brings his emotions to it as well. Nice mat return again.
Got that riding time now at 30 seconds.
And riding the right-hand side and controlling the clock, trying to keep the toe in.
Same way.
What's the first thing, the very first thing you're looking for from Lee off the whistle?
I'm looking for him to go ahead and maybe do some sort of changeover. So he's obviously on the right side where he's uncomfortable. Some type of movement. See, he went the other direction. See how I flared right into the ride right there. He flared his ankles right into the ride. Flare it the other way. Now he's got him on the the left side here, and that's really where he wants to be. Be a little bit more effective.
Big time mat return from Peyton Robb, and with that mat return, he is going to push the riding time over a minute.
You see Robert Kokesh tell him to push the elbow forward. Not squeeze it, but push it forward. Make him collapse right there. Push the elbow forward. And then maybe come back and collapse it that way.
Believe the challenge brick was thrown from the Minnesota corner. I mean, that mat return was 3rd and 1, and that is a Peyton Robb first down.
If it's been thrown, it hasn't been reacted to until after the period.
So the brick is on the mat. See Trevor Brandvold in the background. Coach for Minnesota pointing out the brick.
Yep.
So there is a challenge. And now they're saying he threw it too late.
Yeah, you saw it out there on the mat for quite some time, and it's up to the Jason Wedgbury, the side judge there, to be able to go ahead and inform the official.
So they are saying it's too late, so an escape and a riding time point for Peyton Robb as he avenges that loss from a year ago. 174 pounds, looking forward to this one. They had a barn burner last year. Here's Mikey Labriola, ranked 2nd in the country. Bailee O'Reilly, 9-2. Brings with him the number 15 ranking in the nation here at this 174-pound weight class.
Shake hands. That.
Bailee O'Reilly, just a tough guy. Goes out there and keeps position real well. You know, we've seen the explosiveness of Labriola. These guys have wrestled a lot before, so you got an opportunity to. I don't expect O'Reilly to just do anything more than maybe to hold position and make Labriola come out of his shell.
Labriola 4-0 lifetime against O'Reilly.
Arm wrestle his head.
But they had a great match in this duel last year. Again, it'll be a year ago tomorrow. Labriola winning it 7-5. Had a reversal and near fall points in the final seconds to steal it.
Nice snap there by Labriola. Yeah, you see Labriola tuning into his coaching staff in the corner, asking for fakes. You can see that jab step with that right leg lead, anticipating that, complimenting with the snap down to see if he can follow it up with a shot. And when I say coming out of his shell, I don't really mean that he's, you know, it doesn't do a lot of offense there. But, you know, early in these matches like this, go out there and get clean techniques. Sometimes you don't see it right away. You just got to create action like this, fakes, shot fakes, lower levels. Look for posts. Good clubbing collar tie right there. Really got O'Reilly out of position just for a short period of time, but you know the window shut down pretty quickly.
Labriola, 4-time All-American, one of 4 in program history for Nebraska. Coming off a 7th place finish at the NCAAs last March. Highest finish was in 21 in St. Louis when he finished 3rd. But he has been a staple at this weight class for a long time.
Something to look at here, that headgear that Labriola has is not adjusted properly. It's clearly loose. It could be a factor with all this head-to-head collar tie stuff and all that stuff. You don't want that to be uncomfortably a factor. You got to go out there and have that fitted properly, right? Or else it becomes a distraction out there on the mat. You know, it constantly comes back to it, you know, because it just doesn't feel right on there. You got to have that correctly fitted before you walk out there on that mat, especially in these heavy collar tie matches.
No score, 2.5 minutes into this first period.
A shot off that collar, tries to come to a post on the other side, mixing it up. Even though these guys, you know, we always talk about being on the tracks. They're on the tracks, but they're firing away. They're changing levels. They're coming hard to the collar ties. They're trying to get the quick corner so they can take the shot off of it.
In the dual meets last January in Minneapolis, Labriola gets it late, Jim. Time on the scoreboard, time to score.
On his belly, right, in that situation. A lot of guys lay back on that stuff. He gets the quick reversal here, the changeover, half Nelson, settles back, gets the 2 count, with 2 seconds left. Never given up.
O'Reilly switched position, fighting hands and escapes. 10-second escape, good escape there by the Gopher. He's out in front 1-0.
And I really like it when guys, when they make a little move like that, they look to cover the fingers before they get to their feet. If they can do that, it makes it really easy to just walk out of it. Nice shot there, committed shot there by Labriola. He shoves it on the shoulder almost.
Labriola from Easton, Pennsylvania. He's in his 6th year. 2-time state champion from Bethlehem Catholic.
See, the riding time has been stopped there with the locked hands
Let's go look
call.
at that. See if he's on the mat.
And
Let's
that's
go look at that.
Kurt Frost is going to go ahead and go to the monitor to take a good look at it.
And the officials can look at things when they want to. It doesn't necessarily have to be challenged. They're going to look at this one. Official review.
And it looked like Labriola may have overlapped the hands in an effort to go ahead and control the hips a little bit better after that takedown.
Thought I heard an official say that wanted to check to see if he was still on the mat. There's Tervel Delognev, Olympic bronze medalist. Here's another look.
There. That's where the hand was posted on the mat. Yeah, they're definitely looking for locked hands. If we could catch that action right there.
And all they got to do is touch.
Yep. So what I'm looking for first is to see that again. They're going to re-cue that look here in a second, but I'm looking for O'Reilly's position here. Did he have one hand down on the mat? Yeah. No locked hands.
Lock.
He did lock. One more to take a look at. They're not locked. They overlocked a little bit, but I don't think they were touching at that point. It's really a close call here. Hand was down the mat. So no call. No locked hands.
Labriola with a takedown here in the 2nd period, leading it 2-1. Crowd likes that call, understandably so. And the goal for O'Reilly. Go back on bottom.
1. Neutral.
And we're neutral, 2-2.
Nice low shot there.
Shot from Labriola. Single leg, has it shelved.
Yeah, it does have it shelved, but not quite. Kind of rope climb. See that little rope climb right there? He's able to go ahead and work his way up the leg, get a little bit further to the hip.
Labriola wants to stay neutral.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gives the escape.
On me. Stay here. Stay here. We got it. On me.
Adjust the brace real quickly and get right back at it.
All right, here we go. Set.
Angles, angle, nothing changes. Move him.
O'Reilly from Goodhue, Minnesota. Wrestling in the Gopher singlets. Hard snap there from Labriola. Just a 1-point match. Labriola, a couple of takedowns.
Got his fingers, guys.
Shane, you saw the heavy collars here before, and now you're starting to see a little bit more, you know, when O'Reilly reaches, you're seeing the post come into play here, the low shot. You know, he was ear to ear there, but you see how he brusted out of that position. He didn't like it, so he wanted to work a little bit more from space. But he knows that O'Reilly wants to come heavy with that collar tie, and he's catching it as he backs out of that collar tie. All right, you saw the itsy-bitsy spider in the last match here. Now he's going to see a little bit of a rope climb on this finish. See how he kind of doesn't quite get it right there, but he's going to move up here, just like he's climbing rope here. He go hand over hand and gets himself in a little bit better position, all the while keeping his own balance on the mat, not extending too far forward and certainly not pulling back.
Quick escape there from Labriola. You climb a lot of rope, Jim, as an athlete?
Oh, man, yeah, I did, yeah.
It's a great exercise.
It is, but I have a hard time. I
Grip
use my legs today.
Labriola up by 2.
It's always funny when you talk about people that have strength. The people that I hated to wrestle the most were the guys that had the grips. You know, just had that great grip, and you really developed grip with the rope climb.
The best grip story I ever heard, talking to Mark McKnight, who wrestled at Penn State. And it was the year. Nice shot here from Labriola. O'Reilly rolls him through, good scramble.
Good job by O'Reilly there, getting himself into a better position. Now he's going to cast across. He gets elbow deep around that leg, but he loses it right there. And look how Labriola is keeping that leg shelved up onto his shoulder. He rolls back up. He finds himself even in a more competitive position.
Scramble continues.
And he cuts the corner on him. He's got the advantage.
Labriola coming up through the crotch of O'Reilly. Has that leg scooped.
Wow.
And out of bounds.
Both guys working hard in that position.
But it was the year that Anthony Robles eventually would win the national title against Matt McDonough. Mark McKnight said that when he wrestled Anthony Robles, Robles' grip was so tight that what happened was your hands would go numb. You wouldn't be able to feel your hands anymore.
Yeah. What a tournament that was.
In Philadelphia, 2011.
Phenomenal.
Mikey Labriola 20 seconds away as he's in with another leg attack late in this match. Labriola undefeated at 16-0.
Look at not breathing hardly at all on the attack, tried to add to his lead. Knew this would be a tough match.
Make it 17-0. Labriola over O'Reilly 5-3. Gets his arm raised. Fluxes for the crowd. Labriola now 5-0 against the Gopher O'Reilly. Handshake from Coach Manning, Robert Kokish. Isaiah Salazar and Lenny Pinto. Both guys ranked top 15 in the country. Salazar just one loss this season.
This is a match I was really looking forward to. Both guys will see some action. And then you see Pinto. I think he was in on the leg there. Maybe he gotten all the way around it. Now he switches off to a double here. Salazar doing a nice job of keeping him off that with that overhook. Now he's got an opportunity to score if he drives back in on the mat.
Great first 20 seconds of action.
I'm wondering if that action gets... Doesn't look like Mark Manning's going to throw a brick on that one. Looked like he was almost all the way behind the elbow on that, but not quite.
Careful.
Don't let him hold your arm.
Two closely ranked guys. Again, this really in a lot of ways could help
Keep your hands working.
clinch the meet here for Nebraska.
Of course, 184 pounds occupied by Taylor Venz. He's got a good little toss there for Pinto. He's got Salazar on his back.
He's got the leg in now here. Should be able to settle back.
Lenny Pinto came out with a ton of energy.
And Salazar is no slouch here. He's going to keep on driving back in. Gets the escape. Now an ankle pick, driving back into it. Countering like he's in the middle. coming back at it. Good whizzer, but keeping Salazar off that far ankle.
Working around behind now is Salazar, still no points.
Right now, that right leg should just be bursting out of there here for Pinto. He went to the whizzer here, and I think you've given Salazar a better opportunity to score. Now he's going to look for a hand fighting here.
Got to be careful too, Jim, with that head getting close to the knee for a cradle.
Yeah, I really felt that it was just an opportunity. Like you said right there, he's got the cradle locked up. Now it's even tighter. Now which way will he go with it? He should go back to the left, his left.
Instead, he breaks the grip and looks for the takedown.
There was an opportunity here basically for Pinto to stop this action by just putting a heavy sprawl on right there, and he just refuses to do it. Now he almost kicks out and loses the position. I don't think you can get a better example of what we're talking about when you counter it like you're in the center of the mat. Boy, Pinto really dodged a bullet there.
4-1, Pinto leading it here in this first period. Get the feeling that, Jim, this might be one of those matches that takes 8 or 9 points to win it. I mean, these two have come out, a lot of intensity, great action here in this first period.
Yeah, Pinto really did a nice job of getting to the leg there, and then caught Salazar there with that overhook throw, just kind of hipped into him, took him to his back.
Okay.
Oh.
A little higher for me, okay? Here we go. Down the face. Here we go.
He still has it. Whatever it is, he has it.
Hope these guys keep letting it fly a little bit. Pace is slowed down now.
Yeah, no,
As I say that, good job there from Salazar. Dives in on a single leg late in this first period.
Pinto does a nice job of hipping in off of that. And he has his own feel right there. Now he's trying to cut the corner, has a chest wrap, get a better scramble situation. Salazar trying to get a little elevation, switching to a double, but now it's a single. Wow.
Pinto, though, getting near fall in the first.
Good action here, but watch the hip over here, right? Watch him hip over right into that single leg shot right there. Settles back, works that left leg in. There's Coach Manning's reaction. Actually, Brian Snyder's right there with him.
They were hoping for 6.
This is a team.
Come on, guys.
Salazar worked off his back. He's down by 3 as he goes bottom in the second period. Now it's a 2-point match with a quick escape. Pinto this season, a runner-up at the Navy Classic. He was 6th in Vegas.
I've liked Isaiah Salazar's answering shots in this match. They haven't paid off yet here, but he's got the ability to go ahead and get to that leg, switch off to 2, keep breathing and keep firing.
Working off had a 2-on-1 there momentarily. Now elbow tie on the left side.
Right, diving shot there by Pinto. Boy, he has some strength. Now he comes back with a big lace lock. Salazar comfortable with the overhook. He catches him here on his rear end, but they settle back and there'll be no points.
So close from Pinto. I thought he had him on his hip.
That is how you throw a brick.
I thought that was 2, Jim.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. He had him on both cheeks right there.
But you're right. That one out center of the mat, obvious to see.
I think Tervel's the brick coach. He's the one that has the brick. Right out there. Pretty hard. Overhook settles back right here, and I thought right here when he was both in, and maybe the referee was giving him the benefit of the doubt because he had that wrist tied up. Right? This position right here. Okay. We know it. Oh, get it, throw it. Get it all the way out there. Brian Snyder was the brick coach. Casey Cunningham is the brick coach for Penn State.
Yes, he is. So they'll review this, a challenge by Nebraska. See Robert Kokesh there, All-American for the Cornhuskers on the coaching staff.
I think what the official was looking at here, see how Salazar has that wrist tied up over there on the far side, and when he brings him back down, he's thinking, well, maybe he doesn't quite have it. No takedown. That's why he was able to shift his hips. So the fact that he wasn't able to cover well with that wrist tied up, and you can see by the action as they headed off the mat, he really probably didn't have control.
Salazar, a 4-time champ from Windsor High School. He's from Greeley, Colorado. Last season, 8th at the Big Tens. He was 1-2 at the NCAAs as a 19 seed. He's down by 2 with 45 seconds. There's a shot from Pinto.
These guys are going at it. I love the offense I'm seeing from both guys. Looking for those attacks. Nice sweeping single there by Pinto. You know, if they slow down here, it's just because they've been attacking the whole match. This has been fun.
25, hand fight of lead.
Right there.
Oh, right into double unders.
Double underhook and driving through. How did he not go over there, Shane? Salazar.
Control him out. You can't be out here. Control him out.
Now that is control of Matt. On Nebraska.
Yeah. Got a little extended there on the line. Look at this action here. Bowling's double leg there. I tell you what, when Pinto is down like that, he's doing a nice job. Most guys would just go over with that action. Wow.
Third period.
Ready, choice. Neutral. Lines, guys.
So with that control of Matt, that's 18 points. So instead of it being 16-6, take one off the board of Nebraska. It is a 15-6 dual meet,
which makes it 3 decisions, and it's a tied meet.
First things first here for Minnesota. They got to get this one from Isaiah Salazar at 184.
Now he's getting tied up in this position. Good time for a stalemate.
That's a lot of it, guys.
2-on-1 wrist. They break free on their own. Look for Salazar to come hard here with that shot. Been pretty effective here. Allowing his wrist to get tied up. You know,
Collar tie from Pinto on the right side. Now they separate.
Well, if you cannot ride the guy, you're having a difficult time riding guy. And I think Salazar is pretty tough in the top position, but you know what? You may need 2 takedowns here. At least a takedown and a ride out.
60 seconds left here in this third period in a 2-point match.
See how Pinto's locking over that. Now he gets to a leg. That's been there for a while, but can he finish?
Pinto tough to score on.
Yep, see how he's grabbing that wrist right there. Working that wrist pretty hard. Salazar's got to try to shelf this. He's going to shelf it to the
Stay legal. Stay legal.
outside there.
Going for the head.
He's got that shin whizzer. He's going to come up to his feet. Does he have enough to get through the man? Now he cuts him back to the front side there. At that point in time, Pinto goes to the wrist. Now Salazar gets the hip. He's a mat return away from tying it.
He'll need rolling. Man, so I believe it was 2 takedown and 2 reversal.
Yes, because I think he put his hands down on the mat.
In that rear standing?
Yep, it's rear standing position.
You're down.
Man, what a flurry. So Pinto, instead of it being 4-2, it's 6-4 after that action.
Escape here by Salazar.
6-5, 15 seconds, Salazar's got to go.
Gets to a leg. Oh, he almost put both legs together.
And they give him the takedown with 3 seconds left, and Isaiah Salazar gets the win.
What a come from behind gutty victory that was. Salazar shot late. You saw where Pinto brought his feet together a couple times in that sequence. The second time Salazar was able to lace those legs up and get the double and drop him to his rear end.
Salazar stuns Pinto and this Nebraska crowd. What a match, Jim. What a match.